What's up, y'all? It's Alyssa back with the video. And honestly, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. I really pray that this helps at least one female because I really don't want to make this video. But I feel like God told me to make it, so here I am. Anyways, so as by the title, this is how God turned my bad into good, and this is pertaining to like a breakup situation. So to get right into it, I will give you a little background history. I'm gonna try to make this video as quick as possible. So in the background history, right, when I first started dating this guy, my standards were to the floor, because all I was looking for was, one, someone who was attractive in my eyes. Two, someone who had a car. Okay, basic, okay. Three, someone who could get me weed. Let me not. I just feel so bad for my previous self because, like, why? Why were your standards this low? Anyways, I mean, I don't know. We all go through it. But yeah. Summary of it. From the outside, it felt like a good relationship. Going into it, I didn't feel like it was really that bad, but there was definitely many red flags. I definitely should have left at the first red flag, which probably happened within the first 3 months at least. So I could have really saved myself 3 years if I listened to that first red flag and I listened to my instinct and I just got out of there. You know what I mean? So yeah. Okay, now here's where the bad stuff happens. Ironically, in September, I found out, like, it was the last red flag that I saw basically in this relationship, right? So fast forward to the next September in my year, it was honestly one of the best months of my life, but I will tell you about that later. Anyways, in September I saw the red flag, right? And he wasn't willing to like communicate about it, so I was like, okay, I'm done, basically. Like, in my head I was done. And so from then on out, I just really got into like the feminine energy videos, you know, like on YouTube and stuff. Like, that's whenever the Wizard Liz came out and Alexis came out, so like I was watching a lot of them. And also Lisa Glamour, I love her. But yeah, I was watching all of those videos, you know, to build my confidence back up, honestly. What else did I write? Okay, so the bad thing I probably did was I was anticipating the next red flag, because I knew it was gonna come, but it was bad on my part to anticipate something bad happening. Like, I don't think you should ever do that, but I did at the time. I started focusing on myself more. I tried to build my confidence back up and my weight, because I was really skinny back then. So I tried to, you know, build some weight. I just remember, like, I remembered that I was starting to focus on myself, because there was this one time that I didn't want to go to like a family event that they had. And I was like, I honestly just want to stay home and chill and be to myself. Like, I didn't go. And usually I would never ever do that. Like, every time there was something with their family, I would always go. I would never miss. And this time I missed because I was focusing on myself. Like, I really didn't want to go. And so I didn't. And I felt like in that moment I was like, okay, this is what it means to focus on yourself, you know? Okay, so the new year rolls around, right? It's January, and I remember doing like a little video recording like the new year, you know, and I had taken my shot and everything. And ironically, like, I didn't notice it at the time, but now that I notice it, I'm like, okay, that's weird. Like, you know how when couples, like, they kiss at New Year's, like, we did not do that shit. So it was very weird. But at the time, I feel like I kind of already knew, like, oh, this person's not supposed to be in my life next year, you know? And that was last year, right? And so, yeah, I just felt like I didn't belong there anymore. Like, I didn't belong. That's the only feeling I had. I didn't belong. And so, what is it called? Rolling around to the day of the breakup, I'll give you some backstory as well. I was at my mom's house, which is like down the road from his cousin's house, which I was going to after I went to my mom's house. And once I pulled up at his cousin's house, we were like obviously in separate cars, right? And so they had like smoked and stuff, and I was like, okay, cool, like y'all smoked without me, whatever. But we were also like watching the games. I remember it was the Chiefs game. I'm not really into football, but I know who the Chiefs are, right? And I know who the Cowboys are, right? Anyways, we were watching that game, and here's where I heard God's voice. This was the exact moment I heard God's voice. And mind you, at this time, I was not reading the Bible. I was not praying consistently, I feel like. I was not really like, oh, like I love Jesus. Like, you know, like I always like have like my cross on me and everything like that. But I just wasn't with Jesus like that. I don't know. But at this moment in time, I heard his voice loud and clear. And maybe it was also a little bit of my intuition as well, but honestly, I feel like they're the same thing, intuition and God's voice. Anyways, I heard it say to me, like I was sitting on the couch watching this game, and I heard it say to me, this could all be over. Like, just prepare yourself, just accept it, because this could all be over. And I was like, okay, like, for me, it takes me a while to like process some things, but at that time, like I got it, you know? And so I was just breathing, whatever, and a couple seconds later, I'm sitting next to partner at the time, and what is it called? I see on his phone, oh, this is so cringing. This is so cringing. Okay, I see on his phone, it's a blank screen. Like, you know, whenever the page is trying to load and it's like just blank white screen, but you can still see like the bar at the bottom, right? And the bar in the bottom in the search engine thing, you know, it said PORN hub. Yeah. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't make a scene, but I was very confused because I didn't know that like he had done that before. And so it was a surprise to me. Now, I know that a lot of people do this. I know that girls do this. I know that guys do this. Young, old, teenager. I know that this is a thing. But for me, it is very disturbing, and it always has been disturbing for me. So the fact that I saw this, I was like, this is definitely a red flag. I'm out skis, you know? But at the time I was kind of trying to ask like why would you do this, where did you do this and stuff like that. And he was high, so I knew he wasn't gonna give me like any answer he was gonna give me. It would have been like nothing, like bullshit, you know? And so what is it called, I tried to like breathe and process, right? We were still watching the game. I tried to breathe and process, right? And then for some reason he goes out to his truck to get beer, right? And then I see the door open, like cracked open like a little bit, and I just feel God saying to like, this is your chance, like this is your chance to get out. It was so weird. It felt like a movie. But yeah, I had turned over to his cousin and I was like, I think I'm gonna leave, like bye, like thank you so much for having me. And I just left. I walked to my car, and like I remember he tried to open my door and like trying to talk to me, but I was like, close my door, close my door, close my door. And I, you know, I got out of there and I went home, and I took his clothes out of the closet, and I just knew that I was done. Yeah, I knew what God had told me to do, and I did it. So that was it. And let's see. What else? Oh, on the drive home, I remember saying to myself, like, my anxiety was super high at this time, right? I mean, obviously. But I was saying to myself, like, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay. Over and over and over again. Because literally, my life changed, you know? And I had left my comfort zone. Honestly, I feel like that whole time in 3 years was like my comfort zone, and I couldn't get out of it. I felt stuck. And so that's what I did. Um yeah. And now I know sometimes like breakups can be like, oh, like, you know, you talk about it and shit like that. But for me, when I know I'm done, right? And so I remember like the next day he went to go get a haircut, and I knew whenever he's going to get a haircut, he's gonna go out in the night, you know? And so I'm like, that's like confirmation right there, like, you're nothing. And so um when oh, he was just standing there, kind of like trying to be like, you know, literally saying nothing, but he was just standing there. And so I was like, this is not gonna work, this is not gonna work. And I was just like cleaning in my kitchen, I was doing something in my kitchen, but I was like, this is not gonna work. I can already tell you right now, we don't gotta talk about it, it's not gonna work. And so yeah, that's where it ended. And next part, where God makes it all beautiful, sunshine and rainbows. OMG. I had the best month of my life in February. We had broke up in January. I had the best month of my life in February. Literally. I went to Mexico. I was on the beach. I was getting my tan on. I was drinking my drink. And I also went to London. London was cold, but it was really cool. It was really fucking cool. So yeah, I really just kind of reconnected back with my family, and honestly that's what I needed, because during that time I was just kind of separating myself from my family. Yeah. And also, at the end of February, this guy was obsessed with me. This guy adored me. Different guy, new guy. He adored me, right? And he kind of lived a little bit farther out. So I remember him like coming for a weekend and literally buying me flowers, buying me Chanel perfume, buying me what is it called, Rock Revival jeans, and like buying me bottles, like, because we would go out to the club, right? It was the weekend. And so it was just really nice experience to feel that again, and I felt like abundant. And even though I really wasn't attracted to him, like, I didn't know that until the end of the weekend, right? But I just felt free. I felt like I could talk to anyone at that time. I felt so open because, yeah, there's this little story too that I have of this like little old man asking me for like help or like directions or something, and I actually like helped him. Like, I helped a little old man. Like, it was so cute. And normally I would never ever fucking do that because old men like creep me out sometimes, but this old man gave me the sweetest vibes. And so anyways, I helped him out during that month and I felt really good about it. I partied a lot. I also met another guy the next month after February, and he adored me as well. So yeah, I really honestly could have had a boyfriend within the next month, but I did not want to do that. I knew that already my standards have gotten way, way, way higher. Like, now, I have a lot of standards. This man has to have a car, a job, possibly go to school, or like have a side hustle. Definitely be a man of God. Definitely be a man of his word. And when I tell you those two things, being a man of God and if he's a man of his word, like that will tell you. That will tell you so quick if that man is for you or not. Like, ask God, trust me. And so basically those things. And like also, like, I want someone who has a passion for something in life, you know, because my passion is fashion, right? Like, I make clothes, but I would like for the next person that I have to definitely have a passion for their life or about something, you know. And so yeah, I also had gotten a new job. I went to the Cali Uchis concert, which was awesome. I went to Mexico again that year. And September, like I said, I went to Milan Fashion Week. Like, Fashion Week! Ah! And honestly, it was a miracle. It was a miracle that I got into that fashion show. It was a miracle that I solo traveled and I was safe. Like, I was literally there for at least 3 days by myself. And I was like on cloud 9. I felt like I was floating. I was like, I am supposed to be here. I know it. And just seeing the fashion show was so beautiful and professional, and I just fucking loved it, man. It was the best time of my life. So yeah, God told me what to do and I was obedient, right? Normally I wouldn't have left, honestly, because of the family situation that they were going through. It was actually pretty bad. But I knew that I had to leave. I just knew it, because I knew that I was never gonna be loved how I wanted to be loved. I know you're not supposed to like compare your relationships to other people's, but like his brother and his girlfriend's relationship, like that was the type of relationship that I wanted to have with him. But I knew that I would never get that. So yeah. But yeah, I pray for them all, and I hope everyone's all good. And yeah, that's what I learned. I hope you learned from it as well.